Nothing in the world is more dangerous than sincere ignorance and conscientious stupidity. Martin Luther King Jr. Good day, everyone. Thanks to my patrons, today, on religion, I will be addressing the movement of MGTOW, radical and moderate both, and providing my stance on the philosophy of the thing, along with the issues many have attached themselves to that provide a basis for it. And to start this off, I believe I'll begin with a description of their beliefs, from the least poisonous, most base, and therefore common to MGTOW, to the farthest extent I've seen thus far. In addition, I'll be linking many videos from the MGTOW community which exemplify the movement, but more on that whenever you have a look. At its heart stands the belief in a global system of gynocentrism. In some form or fashion, there is the belief in global gynocentrism present in all followers of MGTOW. In their mythos, this drive can be limited to individually within women themselves as an innate motive, or extend all the way into an accusation of systematic and institutional infiltration. And oft is it thought to be the latter. This is the core belief of MGTOW, that in a capacity chosen by the follower in question, their society, and many would say the world, has ingrained within it an overall disadvantage towards men. And as many who have observed such items as the general expectation of men to be more emotionally and mentally cast iron, physically strong, or adept and knowledgeable at hands-on tasks, the tilting of the court system to heavily favor women in legal matters such as rape, child custody, and divorce in many parts of the world, and other matters associated with the issues related to gender roles, there are arguments of merit that MGTOW lend to their belief of gynocentrism, and thereby feminine domination. Therefore, the logical conclusion of the group's adherents is that of leaving behind the hope for a serious romantic relationship with women. In the stead of this, MGTOW do just what the acronym stands for. As men go their own way, quote unquote. The idea behind this here is one takes all of the newfound free time and focus they placed on finding relationships with women and invests in honing oneself. Of course, what one focuses on is up to them, but this is their core faith, a halting of servitude to women. Upon this root of faith, there are myriad branches casting out from the center, though. Depending upon how one came to find their place in MGTOW, their end goals are flavored differently. Some have simply been burned one too many times in bad relationships, and have come to the conclusion that they should merely focus on themselves. Some have just been too socially or physically inept to find someone who'd take them in and manifest their dissatisfaction as a projection of their insecurities. Some have just faced some trauma or have gotten so deep into their own dogma that it has become a permanent part of them. Throughout the various sorts of MGTOW, no matter the circumstances which brought them into the point of pinning the group's name onto themselves though, and whatever projections from this core they produce, this is their foundation. Now, this base ingredient of philosophy isn't too terrible. Sure, it's a bit off to completely abandon the opportunity of romantic relationships with all of humanity, but fine, since you at least say you're committing to honing your character, or skills, or worldview, or what have you, I suppose it's the same principle as asceticism, but on an emotional field. I don't agree with it. It's an obvious hyperreaction and condemnation of women through the divisive hypergeneralization, and it's extremely short-sighted, but fine. It's more than one's right to live their life in whatever manner they choose, within reason, at least here in most of the West. Where this crosses into the deep end, where it becomes a problem that needs immediate remedy, however, is when it takes on the characteristics of a secular cult and political movement. Go out of your way to express your hatred of women. Begin to bring children into their enlightenment from ever earlier ages. Unfairly tilt the scales of opportunity against women. Segregate societies and assign women to lower castes or roles. Sequester women from their counterparts for the betterment of men. Exterminate womankind. These and the graduated and similar and intermingling goals borne by the spectrum of men going their own way is the step past the brink of what should be considered fair and fine philosophy for any valuing equity and liberty of the people, genuine social cohesion, and rational notions in the context of the social issues that have contributed to spawning the ideology of MGTOW. And this is where a mere irrational notion ends and a religion is birthed. If you fail to stay in accordance with the tenets of the faith, at the minimum, detach your romantic interest and status from women, you are a blasphemer, a heretic, a simp. That is correct. You are the one who, to some degree or another, is bent and beholden beyond what a strong and superior man should be unto women. Those vile beasts, women, whom seek to steal away your energy, your time, your money, your resources, as they have become the mimetic umbrella term known for these and more. And if these witches cannot secure the nectar of your subservience and your resources without commitment, they shall demand you are bound by the diamond ring, or worse, the simping mangina. That is, one that does not subscribe to the prescribed actions of the men going their own way, will, in their mythos, most likely become simple prey for the matriarchs that society has built up from within the inferior half of humanity. The less physically and mentally capable side of our species will use their true skills of seduction and deception to coerce men not of the faith into the rite of hypergamy, that they may feed off of one who is well above her in any of the departments of strength, physical, intellectual, financial capability, or essentially any other, in which, of course, men are likely the better half. In this fairy tale, all women have the inbuilt inheritance of intent to drain their partners of their material and emotional resources till they are enslaved husks of the strong, independent, and righteous man. And with this power, womankind seeks to prop herself up as the dominatrix of our race, and by these MGTOW monks, as they know their honest acolytes, the bondage of men the world round must be halted by a given sect of thought's choice of means from those broadly aforementioned and more. Of these, breaking up and cloistering of the impressionable mind, youthful or more elder, is common to each, regardless of what follows. To divide and fence off from genuine argumentum and fill the vassalized mind with illogic and circular and self-fulfilling beliefs and predictions and maxims and prejudice is the most common elected modus operandi of the loose network of MGTOWs spreading their reach over social media and in person, believe it or not. Just as their mirror twin and image of feminists from across the horseshoe, these preachers of dogma and their figureheads seek to pile into the minds of, as if a vessel, their flocks, their supposed wisdom. And it will be the same antagonists and purveyors of logos that will topple feminism, which will end rightly the ideology of these monks. In opposition to MGTOW and any festering cysts of irrational, authoritarian, and anti-egalitarian social justice cults which spring up, whether in fervor and favor of men and against women, or vice versa, those that take the mantle of the principles of those forebears of the architecture of a society in which every citizen which is willing to contribute to the world in a meaningful way is valued shall serve to topple your reprehensible movements. The great backlash that rose into a great thunderous outcry from meme masters, more serious and proper YouTubers, social media pundits, vis-a-vis activists, and everyday people that perpetuates to the day will come to encompass you too. And I, like many others, will be happy to see. Just as the other upstart secular religions in the same silhouette as radical feminism, Antifa, and Black Lives Matter, culturally crushed into fringe obscurity, just as your progenitors before you. Thank you all for listening. If you enjoy my content and want to really help me and my channel prosper, let YouTube and I know by giving the video a thumbs up, leave a comment. That one helps a lot. Share the video with others, subscribe and hit the notification bell. Join the Xilver on Discord through the invite link below, and hit up my minds.com and Twitter account. All of the aforementioned items that are outside of YouTube are linked in the description. If you would like to help me make this channel my official business and job, that I may take on the mediocrity of the world, one video and word at a time, and get rewarded for it, I would ask you to donate monthly to my channel by becoming my patron through patreon.com. You can do this by following the link in the description or through the I button in the upper right of the video. Or, if you wish to donate only once, a PayPal tip jar is listed just above the link to Patreon in the description. Godspeed and farewell, everyone. Till then, this has been Xilver with his